Hello dear students, welcome to the computer class of Standard 10. Today we are going to begin our chapter number 13, Decision Structure. So here we are going to discuss about the decision structure. When till now whatever we have discussed, that was the sequential program. Means one by one the instructions were executing in the sequence only. But now we are going to discuss about the conditions. So when you wants to check some of the conditions, then if the condition is true, then what will happen, and if the condition is false, then what will happen. So based on some conditions we want the output. So that is called the decision structure. So we have to take the decision, and if the condition is true, then what is the decision? If condition is false, then what is the decision? So this decision structure we are going to discuss over here. So let's just begin the chapter. So first topic we will discuss, that is need of decision structure. What is the need of decision structure in a programming? So here we will discuss one by one the needs of it. So first, decision structure statements helps us to jump from one part of the program to another based on result of some conditions. So suppose I am giving you the example. We wants to check whether the student is pass or not. So how we can check that things? Based on the percentage. So if student percentage is greater than or equals to 40, if it is greater than 40, then we can say the student is pass. So what is the condition here? If the student mark is more than 40, then student will be pass. So this is the known as a decision structure. So if that condition will become true, if marks are more than 40, then the student is pass. If marks are less than 40, then the student will be fail. Now it is also known as a selective structure statement, branching statements, or decision making statement. So these are the another names of decision structure. And it is also known as a control statement, because the decision making statements that controlling the flow of execution in your program. So if the condition will become true, then where your program flow will go, it will execute the true statement. If the condition is false, then where the program should reach, it will give the another message, or it will lead you to the end of a program. So this decision, the decision structures are taking, they are controlling the flow of your program, and that is why they are known as a control statement also. So here we have discussed the need of decision structure. Now next we are going to discuss, that is the type of decision structure. How many types of decision structures are available in a C language? So here C language provides two types of decision structure. First one is a if, and second one is a switch. So you have to remember how many types of decision structures are available? Two, if and switch. Now first we will discuss the four types of if statements. So how many types of if statements are there? Four types of if statements are there. First one is a simple if statement. Next is a if else statement. Third one is a nested if statement. And fourth one is a else if ladder statement. So students, this chapter I will explain you with the practical, because till now we haven't done the practical of a C language. So this simple if else, nested if, else if ladder, and the switch, the next second type of decision structure, that is switch, all the things we will discuss theoretically as well as practically. So now we will begin our session to discuss the decision structure statements. So let's just start it. So students, now we will see all 4 type of if statement with the example. So first condition is we must know the syntax of each and every if statement. If you know the syntax, then only you can write down the correctly or you can use the if statement correctly. So first we will discuss simple if statement. So here you can see the syntax is first you have to write if keyword, and then after in the bracket you have to write down text expression or the condition that you want to check. If the condition that you are checking that will become true, then the statement whatever is written in the if body that will be executed, and if the condition is false, then nothing will be displayed in the if condition. So this is the requirement. If the condition is true, then message will print, otherwise nothing will be displayed as the output in the simple if statement. Now we will see one program practically to see the how if statement is working. So first you just click on start button and select Turbo C++ program. In that we will perform the C language practical. First time we are performing, so I am telling you that this program you have to use and click on start Turbo C++ button, and this is the first screen of our Turbo C program. Here we will create all the programs of a C language. So first we have to, here you can see the blank file is already open. If you want to open the another file, then you can use file menu and new, and another option is there, Alt shortcut key, Alt key hold, then after F press F from the keyboard, and then after N. So again you can see here 3 files are created by you. If you don't want to use, you can click on here, then that files will be removed. Now as you all know, our program begins with the header file. So first we will write down our header file, that is hash include stdio.h. Then after next will come, that is our void main, our main function through which our program execution will begin. Here I am writing the program about the if statement. So first I will write it down here in the comment. I will write program of simple if. Now here we wants to see, we will take the marks from the user, and based on the mark entry we will tell the user or we will tell the student that student is pass or fail in the subject. So for that we need one variable named as a mark, integer. So here you have to remember, you can't make the caps lock key on. All the things must be written in the small letter. Integer mark is my variable. Now I will take the value of mark variable from the user, and before I will write CLR SCR to clear my previous output if I have run any program before. Now I will give the message to the user that printf enter your scored marks. So based on this message user will input marks. Then user will input the marks, we have to store that value. So for that we will use scanf function. Then as per the scanf statement syntax, we have to write down the control string based on its data type. So here mark is defined as an integer data type, so control string is a %d of integer. Then we have to do comma, and along with the ampersand sign we have to write our variable name, that is mark. So with the help of ampersand sign, it will assign the memory to our input. So the input will be stored to that particular address, and then after, now we will check the condition with the help of simple if, that whatever the mark user has entered, if that mark is greater than or equals to 40, then user will be passed. So in the if block I have to give true statement. If the condition is true, then what will be the message? pass, semicolon, and if block is over. So this is the simple if. Here you have to write the condition and you have to give the message in the if block if the condition is true. Now here our first program is over of simple if. Write the get ch and curly bracket over. Now first step, you have to save your file. So with the F2, and you have to remember that all the C program file must be saved with the C extension. So you just remove .pp and then after we will rename our file as a simple if. I am renaming simple if dot C. Press enter. Now we have to check that whatever we have written in that any mistakes are there or not. So for the checking of your code, you have to compile your code. So for the compilation, either you can go to the compile and compile here, or either you can use the shortcut key Alt F9. Now I am using the shortcut key Alt F9. Here you can see lines compiled, warning is 0 and errors are also 0. So you can press any key of the keyboard to close that diagram. Now we have to see the output. We want to see. So to see the output, you have to click on a run, and here from here you can select the run or Control F9 shortcut key. So I am using Control and F9. Now see, the message is coming here, enter your scored marks. Press the enter and in the next line you just give the mark entry. Here I am giving the value 70. Now press enter again. So here you can see that in our program we have written if mark is greater than 40, then the message will come pass. When you will press the enter, you will come out from the output screen. Now again I am running my program by going to the run, and now I am entering the mark, that is 35. So here you can see the 35 is less than 40. So now we will see what will happen. Any message is not coming. Now again if you will press the enter key, then you will come out from the window. So if we have entered the marks that is less than 40, that is why any message not came. So if the condition will become true, then only this message will come. So students, now we will discuss next type of if statement, that is if else. In the simple if, only if block was there, that were executing only the statement based on the condition if it will become true. But in the if else, both the aspects will be there. If the condition is true, then what will happen? So in the if block we will write it down the true statement, and in the next, in the else block, what we will write it down? In the else block we will write it down the false statement. If the condition will become false, then it will skip the true statement and directly it will go to the else part and it will execute the false statement. So now in the same example we will discuss that thing. So here the if statement is the same only, so this part will keep as it is. Now we want to see that if mark is greater than 40, then message will come pass. But if the mark is less than 40 that user has entered, we have seen in our previous output, then what will be message? Then the message will be for the user that we will type in the printf, that is better luck next time you are fail. So this message will be printed if the mark is less than 100. Now less than 40. Now we will close the else part. No need to change any other thing because in the previous program only we have done these changes. So these changes we have made. So again go and save file, and now here we will change the program of if else in the comment part. Now to see the correctness of code, we will do the compile and then after run. For that, to run your program, Control F9 shortcut key. Now we will give the mark press enter, and in the next part you just give mark less than 40 and try. See, the message is coming, better luck next time, you are failed. So like this, press enter or any key to come out from the part, and whenever this message is coming you just give yes. So this is the program of our simple if. Now we will discuss the next, that is the next statement is the else if ladder. So that we will discuss now, the nested if statement, nested if else. So there are situations where we need to execute series of decisions in our program. Not only one decision statement, more than one decision statements we need to use. Then we may use series of if else statement in a nested form to achieve our task. So nested form means in the one if we will use the another if. So like this we can achieve our task by using the one if inside another if, then it will be known as a nested if. So here you can see nested if, Now if is there, then in the first if we will write down our condition. If this condition will become true, then it will check the next condition that is written inside first if. So this is the outer if, and this we can known as the inner if. And if this condition will become true, then this statement block, the true statement of this if will be executed here. If this condition is false, then the else part of this statement, and what is the false statement that we will write, that will be executed here. And here after closing of first if in the else part, if this condition will become false, then what will happen? Then it will not go to check the inner condition. If the first one condition will become false, then directly it will go to the else part of the first if statement, and the last statement what you will write, the false statement in the first if, that will be executed here. So when the inner if will work, if the outer if condition is true, then only it will check the inner if. If this condition will become false at the first occurrence, then directly it will jump from here to the last statement. This part will be skipped. So practically we will see one example to divide the number by 2 and 4. So whatever the number we are dividing, that we want to check whether the number is divisible by 2. If that number is divisible by 2, then again we want to check that whether the same number is divisible by 4 or no. So like this condition we want to check. So that program we will write it down over here. So here I will go to my compiler, C program, software Turbo C. I will go to the file and new program we are creating over here. So first we will write the hash include stdio.h. Then after void main. Then one number we will take from the user. So that number will be of a integer type. So integer number. Now we will take the value of number from the user. So before we will write CLR SCR to clear our previous output. Now we will give the message to the user that please enter number. Please enter number. Double quote over semicolon, and with the scanf we will store that value in our memory address. So what will be the identifier? Percentage D, because it's a integer type of variable, and M% sign and our variable name, that is number. Now we will check, or we will use if. Now if number modulo we will use here, modulo by 2. Means why we are using here modulo sign instead of division? We have to use the division. But if we will use the division, then remainder value will not come. It will show you that value, that is with what number that value will be divisible. So here you have to use the modulo operator to get the remainder value. and if the remainder is 0 0 when we are dividing the number by 2, then only we can say that the number is divisible by 2. So here we have to make the equality. So whatever the answer is coming when we are doing the division, if that answer is 0 and that will match with our answer, that is 0, then the condition, what condition will be executed over here? Printf, if this condition will become true, if the number is divisible by 2, then again further we will use one condition. You can see the syntax over here. First condition is true, then another condition inside that. So if same number modulo by 4 now equal 0, then if this condition will become true, then we have to give message that printf number is divisible by 2 and 4. If first statement will become true, then this message will come, that number we can divide by 2 and 4. Now in the else part, if this condition is not true, that means what? That means that the number is divisible by 2, because if this first condition will become true, then only this inner if will work. So when the number will divided by 2, then only it will come to the inner part. So if it is not divisible by 4, then we can say that at least the number is divisible by 2. So that we will write it down there, that number is divisible by 2. And now this if and else part is over. Now we have to write the else part of our outer if. So as a outer if else part, we will write it down the message that number is not divisible by 2 and 4, because when this else block will executed when the first one condition is false. So if the number is not divisible by 2, then directly it will go to the else part. And here ultimately we can say that the number is not divisible by 2 and 4. So here our program of nested if will get over. And here you can compare our program syntax with the original syntax that you can see here in our PDF file. So now we will save our file. So again go to the file and save or press F2. Now remove this one and give the file name, that is nestedif.c. Press OK and now compile the program, Alt F9. There is 0 errors and 0 warnings, and Control F9 to see the output. Now we have to enter number. So that number I will enter first, that is divisible by 2 and 4. So first 10. So 10 is divisible by both 2 as well as 4. So here what will be the message here? That message is not coming. So we will check it again. Alter number 10. So here why these things happened over here? Because we forgot to write it down the get ch. So without writing the get ch, we can't hold our output screen. So you have to remember, after the completion of your program, you have to write get ch. So save your file again and run it again. Control F9. Now you just give the output input 10, and here you can see that number is divisible by 2. And the same number is divisible by 4 also. 10 is divisible by 4. Now here I am giving you the 4. So here you can see that number is divisible by 2 and 4 both. Now I am giving you the next input, that is 21. So here the message is coming, that is number is not divisible by 2 and 4. So like this nested if statement will work. So I hope you understood this statement. So students, now we are going to discuss about the else if ladder. What is the use of else if ladder? When we want to check not only one and two conditions, but when we want to check the multiple conditions together, at that time we are using the else if ladder. So here this is the syntax of else if ladder statement. First it will begin with the simple if. So first you just write if, here you just write text expression the condition. If this condition will become true, then the statement block, whatever the things are written here, that will be executed. So here this is the first condition written. Now to write the next condition, instead of if you have to use the else if. So as many times you can use else if as many conditions you are having. So use the else if, the syntax must be like this, first else space and if. Write the second condition and write the statement block according to that condition. Then again else if and text expression 3 and statement block 3. So this is the third condition, and here else if and text expression n means till the nth number, any number, as I told you that how many conditions you want to write, you can write according to your wish. So last block is the nth number. So according to your wish you can write the multiple conditions. If any one of the conditions will be not become true, then there is a default part, that is the else part. So if any condition is not true, then we will write the else part, and then at that time else part will be executed over here, the default statement, and then after the program statement X. So like this we can use this else if ladder to write down multiple conditions. Now practically we will see by writing one program. So for that we will open our Turbo C++ software, and here we will write it down the program to get the value of user of percentage, and based on the percentage what is the class that we will print. So hash include stdio.h then after our void main. Now we will define opening curly bracket and integer percentage per, the value I am taking from the user. So now with the scanf we will take that value, first CLR SCR to remove our previous output. Then after printf enter your percentage. So this message we are giving to our students, and whatever the percentage they will enter, that we will store with the help of this value. Here instead of integer we will use float, because percentage might be in the form of fraction numbers. So here we will use percentage f because of the float data type, and ampersand per, bracket over semicolon. Now we will check this percentage value that user has inputted. If percentage greater than or equals to 80, then the message will be printf distinction. If user percentage is greater than or equals to 80, then user got the class that is distinction. Now next we are writing the condition that else if. Second time we are checking, because what is the value user has entered, that we don't know. So we have to check, write all the conditions that can be applied to that to find the particular class. So if percentage greater than or equals to 60, then printf first class. Next we will write condition, that is again else if. The third one condition we are writing, if percentage greater than or equals to 50, then printf second class. Next, again else if percentage greater than or equals to 40 or 35, then printf pass. Else, now if any one of the condition is not true, and if the mark entry is less than 35, if the percentage is less than 35, then printf fail, then user is the student is fail. So here like this the statement will work, then get C H and function bracket over. Press F2 to save your file. Give the name else if ladder.c. Okay. Now compile the file, 0 warnings and 0 error. Control F9 to see the output. One error is there, that hash define undefined symbol may. Hash include, here you can see the spelling mistake is there in a may. Save your file again by pressing F2, Alter F9 and Control F9. Now here we will enter the percentage. So I am entering 85. So here you can see the message is coming distinction. So first block executed here, the first one condition is true, and then the message is coming whatever we have written inside the first block. Now again we will run Control F9, and now this time I am writing the percentage 30. So the message is coming failed. So my percentage is less than 30. So this condition, all the conditions became false. So that is why the block that is executed here, that is the last statement block. So this is about the else if ladder, to check the multiple conditions together. So I hope you understood this program or this concept well. So students, we have used the if-else statement for the selection of various statement blocks during program execution or to evaluate multiple conditions together. However, when we use the number of if-else statement, then our program becomes more complex. That we have seen now the example of that program. So the program becomes difficult to read and interpret the logic. So to simplify our program, the C language has offered the built-in facility of multi-way decision statement called switch. So when an action is to be taken based on given multiple choices, switch statement is very useful. So both the ways you can use the else if ladder also you can use to evaluate the multiple conditions, or you can use the switch case. So which one is suitable for you, you can choose any one. So else if ladder we have already seen. Now we will see the syntax of our switch statement. So first you have to begin the switch statement with the switch key word. And in the parenthesis you have to write down the expression, means the input. The expression means any condition you can put there, or the input value that is given by the user, that we will put here in the expression. Now we have to open the curly braces to write the switch body. Then we will write it down the case value 1. So these are the cases we will write it down, and with this case we will match the input value. If this both the value are same, then the statement block written in the case 1 will be executed over here. And after statement block you can see here one new statement is written, that is break statement. Now what is the use of this break statement? Break statement is used to terminate your program from here. That means if in the switch we have written condition, and this condition we will check with the first case. So if this both the value will be matched there, then this statement block will be executed, and then after this break statement will be executed. So break will terminate your program. So rest of the conditions will not going to be checked, and directly it will go to the end of your program. But if the case 1 and case expression value does not match, then it will check the next case value. So how we have written the multiple conditions in the if else till the end position, you can write it down the case here. So this case value you can write it down there. So like this you can use the case statement here. So case value 1, and here you can see here the case value whatever you are writing that end with the colon sign. Then after in the next line without brackets, no need to write it down the case body there, no need of braces, you can directly write it down the statement that we have written in the else if ladder, same as, and then break statement. Then next case you have to write till the case end. And if any of the condition, any of the case value doesn't match your expression, then how we were writing the else part in the else if ladder, same here default case is there. So this default case you can write it down anywhere in your program, but generally we are preferring to write it down at the last. So at the last you have to write down the default case here, then after the default statement block and break statement there. So here this is the syntax of our switch case. It is same as the else if ladder, just case the syntax is just different. Otherwise use is very similar to evaluate the multiple conditions. So this syntax you have to remember that first in the switch you have to write down your input value or the expression, you have to open function body, then case 1 and statement block, and this both the value must be made with each other. So now we will create one sample program to understand the case statement in a better way. So here we have opened our Turbo C++ software. Now we will create the program of a switch. So now we are opening the new program. Again we will begin our program with the hash include header file stdio.h void main. Spelling must be correct, we have to check that things. Curly bracket curly bracket, starting curly bracket, then after our variable name. So I want to match the number. So if I will enter the digits from the 1 to 7, then it will display the day's name, weekday's name according to my value. So if I am entering 1, then it should display Monday. If I am entering 2, then it should display Tuesday. Like this I am creating the program. So that number value I am getting from the user, and I am giving the message CLR SCR first we will write, and I will give the message to the user that they should enter the value between 1 to 7. Enter value within 1 to 7. bracket over semicolon. Now we will store this value in our variable with the help of scanf. Control string percentage %d. We have to write in the small only, comma, ampersand number. Now whatever the value we have got, that we will check in our switch statement. So first switch, and in the parenthesis I am giving our input, that is number that has been entered by the user. Now we will open the curly bracket, case 1, colon, enter, printf Monday. And break statement. So this we have to write 7 times. So I am using copy paste operation. So in the edit menu we are having copy, and now here we will take the cursor and we will use paste. Just value we have to change over here, and first we will see that how it's working. So this case 1 should be here. So here we will change the value case 2, and instead here we will write Tuesday. Now again go to the edit and paste, or shift or insert you can use that. So now case 3, and next is a Wednesday. So now I am using the shortcut key, that is shift and insert. So here this one is the case 4, and next is a Thursday. Now we will go to the next, shift and insert. This one is the case 5. And next is a Friday. Now next we will write the 6th one block. Shift and insert. This is case 6. And here Saturday. And last one is the case 7 we will write. So here we will change case 7 and printf Sunday. Now if user has not inserted any of the value from 1 to 7, then we will write the default block. Default, then printf. Again we will give message here, please enter value within 1 to 7. Break. Now here our switch statement will get over the closing curly bracket for a shift, a switch, and then next is for the break. So this is our whole program. Now we will save our file with the switch.c. Okay. Now Alt F9 to compile the code. Control F9. So here the message is coming, enter value within 1 to 7. I am entering 4. Here we forgot to write it down get ch, that is why the output not came. So here after the closing curly bracket of switch, we have to write the get ch there. So these changes we have made. Again press F2 to save your file, and now Control F9. So enter 4 and the output is Thursday, you can see over here. To check the next, that if we are not entering the value within 1 to 7, then what will happen? So now I am entering 9. So again message will come, please enter value within 1 to 7. So if you will enter the value 1 to 7, then according to its number, it will show the respective day that is coming in the day series. So this we have discussed about the switch case. So I hope you understood all the things well. Thank you, students.